promise not to lie in not one of these verses.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of MultyVersesMadness. So this episode is going to discuss Legends Rise, which took place September 4th of 2022. So we're gonna talk about that event because that was a big one. There's a lot that happened with that one. So what had happened was when the summer event, July 31st, headliners had happened after that. I'm like, okay, cool. Also wanted to do this. I wanted to do a big event anyway. With multiple artists. At that point, we only had like 4 at the most before Legends Rise happened. So that event had 7 performing artists to be there. But it ended up being 5 because, emergency situations happened and took place and what haves. So we had CUNA, of course. We have AGCFera, who he and CUNA I came up in the ranks with. We have Pheenix Monrow, we have Riot, and we have Soulo the Don, who ended up coming to perform. And Soulo the Don came all the way from out of Wisconsin and did the show. We got reach over there. We definitely got reach because we had EGE. He came from Indiana to perform, so we got some reach out here. We got people. With this year, we got people that's like all the way in New York that's coming to do performances because they couldn't make it this year or whatnot. But it's we got reach. We had those 5 performing artists come through and do their thing. But before the event even happened, August, there was supposed to be another event to take place. But I feel like this is going to be a part 2 episode. This is definitely going to be a part 2 episode, because that's a long story in itself. But the event that was supposed to happen in August did not take place. And so I ended up coming up with a best of both worlds scenario, because originally the event in September was supposed to be a band's event. I wanted to be like live music for that. And in August, there's supposed to be an event that had performing artists. It's supposed to be like a contest or what have you. But I ended up splitting the difference, as you can see, and it ended up being Legends Rise. And when I realized I got to like do this event now and make it this instead of what I originally wanted it to be, that's improper grammar. My first wife, Angel, and I ended up, we were out looking for apartments. Yeah, we were going apartment hunting. And we were in a car, and I'm like trying to brainstorm and figure out like what would I name this event. And I ran by a couple of names. One of them is the name of one of my events that I did back in 2016. That was like my favorite event back then. But because part of me wants to bring that event back, but you need to find like the right circumstances to do so. But yeah, or just leave it be in its own little bubble. But I ended up talking with her, just running different names by her or whatever, and then we both came up with Legends Rise. And we were initially supposed to host Legends Rise together, but she had to work at Domino's. Yeah, she had to do that instead. So that didn't happen. Which actually, her birthday was the following day as well, which is why we were going to be hosting that event together, so we'd be able to, spend time together and be with one another and celebrate her birthday. I was going to sing happy birthday to her and have a whole cake and everything, but alas, a lot of my plans don't happen. But I digress. So we ended up naming it Legends Rise. It was like a Legends Rise or Legends Rise, and it was like Legends Rise. So there we have it. And it's now going to be our staple, or one of our staples of events that only one, as it stands right now, that's going to be the movable event that takes place in different areas, different towns, cities, what have you. Everything else is Chicago-based at the moment, but that one is going to be geared towards being the movable event. So where it'll happen this year, stay tuned. But yeah, so we did that, Legends Rise. She ended up not hosting with me. And September is also the month of our anniversary as well. But instead, I ended up reaching out to my brother Pokey, and he came through because he got his brand LPS, Lavelle Poke Stroke. So wanted to help with not actually get him out there because he got himself out there, but still introducing him to people who may not have heard of him, who actually these people haven't heard. So making sure spreading that word to them and so on and so forth. And the more events that you're branded on, that helps you, helps him out regardless. So just doing that because that's what this whole thing is for and about, like helping to promote and push and drive and provide that platform. And Poke and I talk like every month, like probably like 3 times a month, if not more, depending on the month. But we talk a lot, and when we do, we hash out stuff. We'll be talking, making sure each other's businesses are on the up and up, and like what's going on, and just giving whatever encouragement that we have for each other in business and life, because we both fathers. We're not single parents, but we are fathers who are single in that aspect, and got some similarities and parallel struggles in that regard. But we definitely we've always had a brotherhood though. So yeah, I asked him about him co-hosting that event with me, but not with me, even with Great.Chicago.Fire. So that ended up being hosted by him in conjunction with Nia of GCF and Kai of GCF. And Kai just recently hosted the Valentine's event, headliners Love for Love. So she just did that, and she did a real good job with that. Proud of her. Proud of you, girl. You go, girl. But yeah, we hosted that, and that was actually Nia and Kai's first run at hosting an event. And they did real good with that too. And they enjoyed themselves. Nia was dancing. We actually just filmed her episode for the New Age Platform show. And we were just talking about her dance moves and just dancing and stuff. Like, the girl can move. She got the moves. So but yeah, we did that. And so leading up to that event, like the week of the event maybe, I got like so many calls from the different performing artists. So what dawned on me, I had did the promo video promo videos for the event and everything, and they went out there and they looked so good. Like, to this day, it's still one of my favorite promotional videos I've created, because it gives a feel of epic proportions. If you have not seen it, go watch it. Probably like throw a link to it somewhere down in this video, under the video. I don't know if we'll figure it out, but man, it is so good. I mean, the views itself, this is the most that we've gotten. I think it's like climbing towards 9K, I think, something like that. 10K, I don't know, but it's up there. And I'm so good. I'm proud of the work that was put in. It's not like just me, because these are clips that came from them. I just did a little, some technical magic to enhance some things and pump some circumstances and taking, the certain shots to make it flow the way that it needed to go, and yeah, I love that. I love that promo video. So we did that, but leading up to, I think that in the name of the event itself being Legends Rise, and the magnitude of it featuring 7 performing acts with 2 different brands essentially hosting it, and it being on a rooftop at that, a lot of it started to add pressure on the performing artists, from what I gathered. And like, I was getting calls saying like, man, I don't know, like, I'm getting nervous about this coming up. I don't know if I like got it to be able to like do it, because some like hadn't performed in a while, or some just life was happening, and that's understandable. But as I told them and tell people, like, not just with the music scene stuff, but even with life, you have to make that decision, and be aware of what you may be taking from yourself. It's like, you either get out there and you give your all now, or you suffer and remember the time frame that you didn't apply and put effort to and towards whatever that thing is, whether it be love, whether it be your career, whether it be your family, whatever the case may be. Even yourself, like, you don't put that towards you, you don't put that from within you towards something, then you really do end up missing out on your blessing and your chance or your opportunity, or even the experience of it. And I'm not gonna say I didn't want that for anybody, because I tell everybody, like, it's your choice, but just be aware that you are only holding you back by not giving your all, by not putting in that effort. And I don't want that for anybody, to do or have to have that feeling of regret, like, I didn't do this, like, dang, you start to beat yourself up, and I don't want that for anybody, on any level, really. To be aware of their decisions, yes, of course, without a doubt, but to just like bang your head against the wall, no. Don't bang your head against the wall. You want to bang your head against the wall, if you do the thing. It's easier done than said is one of my many philosophies. You just do the thing and it's done. You did it. It's fine. The hard part's over. You move on to the next thing you got to do, and then do that, and the hard part's over, so on and so forth. But they definitely had those calls with people, and I said things somewhat similarly, not to those exact extents or those exact words verbatim. Even people who like possibly made them feel like they were hindering them from accomplishing and doing things, like not trying to help them out from it, especially if you got kids. It can easily feel that way. But it's like, don't like, I have a kid, but I try to figure it out as best as I can. And then because there are a lot of these performing artists and bands and just musicians and who have kids, we are in process of figuring out some type of night care system or some type of thing, whereas they'd be able to be watched over and provided for while they're doing these performances. And it's something through the affiliation being done and created. We're on that without a doubt, because no one wants to be in a position, or at least I don't want anyone to be in a position where maybe down the line, I'm not saying it's going to happen or these are the cases that's occurred, but you never know down the line. There are people who could be resentful of their children because they couldn't like achieve their dream or couldn't like pursue a certain avenue and stuff like that. Like it's a thing. It happens. It's sad. Teach his own, I guess, but it's sad, you know. So I would never, could never, because everything I do is for my child. And I even try. I do actually make it possible for her to be with me during these events and what have you. She's literally gone on gigs with me as well. Like when I did gigs at the at Wrigley Field over the summer, she was with me. Her mom was with me too. Of course, I'll have someone else there because I am working essentially, but it's a lot of like downtime for me because I'm really good at what I do. So I'm able to set it and forget it and sit back and enjoy, like with my kid. And I'm fortunate to be able to do that. Even with this event, Legends Rise, I set everything up and stuff like that, but I wasn't running sound. I had my baby brother run sound for that event because he wants to learn and be able to be a part of this world himself. So even in doing so, I'm giving him the tools he's needing to accomplish that. So yeah, he ran sound for that. I didn't do it. I just set everything up, and he got the gist of certain things of what to do. But that's a team effort. It's a teamwork thing there. So that's why I'm wanting to even implement this whole child care system within the affiliation for our performers as well. So yeah, that's that. Because it is disheartening for people to not want to watch your kids. And they don't have to, but if they know like you're trying to pursue this thing, or you're trying to make something of yourself, not just 9 to 5s, and you just die because you're doing that, like wanting to do more for you so your kids can see you're doing more. You don't lose your passion either. You don't lose that thing and then that you know you feel dead inside or something. Don't want that to be the case. I don't want that to be the case for anyone. That's not a thing that's really in my control, but that's not my desire for anyone to have to go through that at any level, whether they choose music, whether, no matter what they want to do. If you got passion for it, I don't want that passion to die out, especially if it's something positive and constructive and something that your kids can look up to you. Mommy did this, daddy did this, they're like my hero, you know, stuff like that. Because they'll look back and they'll see everything that you've accomplished and they'll go, damn. That's my parent. And that's the way that I love my daughter. My daughter literally goes and she'll just sometimes randomly out the blue, she'll be like, I'm proud of you, daddy. And it means the world to me to hear her say she's proud of me. And she understands what that means because I tell it to her. Tell her that I'm proud of her, and I do be proud of her. Chill out. Get down there and poop. Go. Get out. That's my baby goddess. So, even every night she'd be like, Daddy, you didn't say goodnight, baby goddess. And good night, baby goddess. Daddy, you didn't say Te amo, baby goddess. Te amo, baby goddess. Like, it's a thing. It's our little thing that we do for her to go to sleep. And she go to sleep in like 5 minutes. But that was random, kind of. But I am proud of her, and it means a lot for her to say, Daddy, I'm proud of you. She was there with me that night as well. And she was watching and enjoying, and she was dancing, and she was seeing a performing artist. And it was balloons everywhere, and she had a field day with those. We even took some home after the event. We had to drop the equipment and stuff off, and then her and her mom were together. We actually stopped and got gas, and it was at midnight, and it turned her birthday, it's a happy birthday and stuff like that too. Because again, she's a part of this as well, because she helped me come up with this event, or come up with the name for it, or what have you. Even looking at the promo, like, even if I knew it was done or whatever, I still like showed her so she can have the final, like, yes, that's the one, that's it, that's, so, yeah, I try to be inclusive, and especially this year, with me taking a step back from being completely hands-on with the events. I'm definitely delegating more and having other people have their stamps of approval, more or less, things of that nature. But the event itself, Legends Rise, man, very entertaining to say the least. Soulo the Don, his kids and his wife, his twin girls and his wife was there. He even like held both of them at a point when he was performing his song. It was such a beautiful moment. Like, it was such a beautiful moment. It was quite memorable, and I'm sure when they get older, they see the pic and the video of the performance, they'll look back and be like, that'll be a moment for them, hopefully. To have seen their dad holding them while he's performing and singing that song to them, it was so heartwarming. I loved it completely. Soulo did his thing with that and performing his songs. He actually had a song called Birthday Song, which would have been dope if my first wife could have been there for that. Then we got Riot did his thing. He had his whole like medley, had his own medley set up, his performance, and just ran through, and he wowed the crowd with his little moves and his stopping moments where he stops and like turns and sings to you, like makes that eye contact with you and does it. It's so good. It's really good. And Riot actually has a headliners event coming up. Let's not talk about that, actually. Yeah, Riot, he was also just there at this Valentine's event, headliners, Love for Love, and he performed as well. He main evented that one. That was his first time main event and a performance for us. He did really, really well. And he killed it. Like, he killed it. He really did. He was singing, and you can hear in the background on one of the videos, you can hear us sing that shit. Like, he really, really killed it. His lyrics, his writing is just so, man, y'all need to come and check him out, for real. Like, R&B for sure. And he can spit too. He was rapping in that too on a couple of songs as well. Like, that man, he's a talent, without a doubt, and I've known it. He and I go back to performing in 2016, that event that I mentioned. That was my favorite event that I did back then. He was one of the performers in that event as well. We got to get Sean Wright onto a new age platform so he can talk about his story and stuff too, which I'm pretty sure will be happening for sure. He did his thing. We had EGE Tenfo come through. And I know him also, like I know Kuna too, from back in the single digit eras when we didn't do before it was 2010. It was just 09 and shit like that. So yeah, back in 2005, I think 2006, 2005 is when like we met, I believe. And he came through all the way from Indiana. Him and Poke. He and Pokey are brothers. So I came up with them back in the day, back from in the trenches. We go get him. Everybody that I've mentioned ever on these shows, just have in y'all head they could be on a new age platform, because it's some stories that need to be told, and it's a talk show outlet about their path and journeys to music. So that'll definitely be a episode and a thing that's happening without a doubt. But yeah, he came through, and we can't really talk years. I've been paying attention to his journey and his rise as well, what was going on with him in music, and couldn't be happier for him. Couldn't be any happier for him. Actually, I could be happier for him, and I will be happier for him. Because that man puts in work. He got kids too. His kids, their hair is amazing. That's don't even matter, but their hair is amazing though. But yeah, EG Tenfold, he came out, he did his thing. He was rocking the TJ World hat, man. I'm not gonna cry on this. But that was when I saw it and I peeped and he was performing, I make cry. I did get like a little emotional, even when I look back at the vids and the pictures or whatever. Like it's man, I miss TJ a lot. Not a year, probably not even a month goes by where I don't think about him. But yeah, always rocking TJ World, man. But before I started like balling, then Kuna, she did her thing as always. Always hilarious. Like I love how she started like this whole thing, because she was part of the first events that we did, and she was say like she'd be shy on the mic, she don't know what to say to people and stuff like that, and I like told her some stuff, we talked some stuff out, coached some stuff through, and now like she's so hilarious whenever she has a mic in her hand, and I love it. I love that she's branched out and just really got out of herself and out of her head and became Kuna. I'm not gonna say her name, her real name, but any of us that know her back then, she still like, you got to get her to a point for her to like say something to you, like to really say something to you. But she's always been like a fun, loving, compassionate person. It's just you just gotta be around the right people. But for her to be able to do that with strangers in a performance setting, to not just retreat into herself, is beautiful. And I'm so fucking proud of her for that. Like, so proud. Again, I will always say Kuna's one of the myself and Chrissy Harris are the reasons why I even had it in me to want to do this at this level, or even beyond it, or just do this at all, period. And to see, and not just see, but be a part of her climb and her rise and her journey is beautiful. And she even also, we're doing streaming service. She has a show coming out this year as well, called A Young Mogul's Journeys to Success, and it's her own reality series that she got coming out. It's gonna be amazing. I know, without a doubt. It's gonna be quite entertaining, I am sure. And she's already becoming a personality. I don't think she's aware of it yet, but I am, and I'm pushing her and working with her, and we talk often as well, and making sure that she stays that course, because these people that I mentioned, those main three, we always been destined to do great things, and I knew it from the jump. And if I can do whatever God allows me to do and accomplish, and helping them achieve that, I will, and I am, and I do. But it's not just me. They work with me too in order to help achieve their stuff. And even me help me achieve mine. Because mine is to help them achieve theirs. And then it goes back and forth like that. And we not just paying it forward, we paying it back. That just rhymed. MultyVersesMadness. MultyVersesMadness, yo. And so we doing it, and we do it. It's a beautiful thing. And then the main eventer of this one, though, was none other than Pheenix Monrow. Just rhyming. And this was her first performance ever with the affiliation. And she main evented her. She was a part of the fireworks events, the open mic segment, and she did a few songs there, and she'd even performed with her twin, Johnny Rivers, at that event. And so I had already kind of seen her perform, and I had known Johnny also. He was at that same event that Riot was at back in 2016. So I'd known him. I had no idea about like a twin and he and her and stuff, or her doing music. I really didn't find out about it until I was reaching out to him to perform for that event, fireworks. And I saw her, and I clicked on it. I'm like, what? I think it was around their birthday. It was like my twin birthday. I was like, what? And I clicked on it, and I saw her, and I'm like, wait, she does music? I'm like, what? And she ended up being at that fireworks event and did the open mic portion of it, and she killed it. She was a hit. Did a couple more. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now hit her up to perform for this. And she was in, and she got there. I'm like, you're closing the show, just to let you know. And she was like honored. She was hyped. She was thrilled. She was beside herself. She like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, it's you. You're gonna close the show. And she did, and did she close the show. Entertain. If y'all ever seen her perform, y'all know she performs. She puts on a show. She entertains. Man, it was, I had to, like, my daughter had to go away, not see, but there's nothing bad. It's just, it was so good though. Like, she killed it. She had me cracking up. She was literally walking and she danced on or towards somebody. She was in their general vicinity. And I'm like, yeah, this is an entertainer for sure. And I love anybody who knows me as far as performances goes and stuff like that. I'm a showman myself. So when I come across people who have that show person capability, I'm like, yes. I don't need to say nothing more, but yes. And so she did it. She threw down, and she killed it. And she has some events and performances this year as well. She was actually a surprise addition to the Valentine event that just passed, the headliners, Love for Love. She was a surprise performance with our host, Kai, who performed a few of her original songs, and the song that she and Pheenix has together as well. Because we bring people and collaborations together here at the affiliation. Because that's what it's about. It's about unity. And we're affiliated with it. So we're a part of their story and they're a part of ours. It's a beautiful chemistry that takes place. So we have all those people perform. And ironically, Kuna, Riot, and Pheenix Monroe with Kai, who hosted Legends Rise, co-hosted Legends Rise, and then hosted headliners Love for Love, and the performers there were Sean Wright and Kuna. And Pheenix Monrow was a surprise performance with Kai. So a lot of things come full circle in my life, and things that I be doing. There will be a part 2 to this episode, and part 2 will continue to touch on the behind the scenes of this event, but I'll also deep dive into a very significant moment that took place a few years prior to that event in my life and in my family's life, as well, and what I was going through with that. So, as I always say, so get ready, get set, no.